Buddy, welcome back to episode 57 of State of Scrims. I believe that's correct. And I'm joined by Gruer over there, other side.
Hello. Glad to be back. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we just wrapped up the regular season last night, I believe. Is it Monday today? It is. I'm losing it. I think I was like completely unhinged on the last podcast. It's going to be even worse this time. So, um that's great. That's really what we want. Anyway, we can kind of recap what happened over the past few series if we want to here. I'm going to hope I don't absolutely leak something else by streaming the wrong Chrome. Cool. I'm not doing that. So here we go. The playoff bracket has been announced. It is BB versus New York Nutbusters, a series that we got to watch last week that I believe Gruer and I casted together. That was an absolute banger. Maybe we'll get
Yes.
the return of that. And QC versus Inferno, which I feel like happened kind of in the middle of the season. That happened all the way back September 3rd. So that'll be fun to kind of revisit a month old series. I think Alberts is a completely different team now than they were the first time
Oh,
we got to
without a
see that
doubt.
matchup.
Yeah. Alberts is on a completely different level than they were at the first half of the season. So both those first round series are going to be awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm super excited for him. Hopefully, we get good casts on him. From what I've seen so far, the BB versus NYMB one's probably going to be on Tuesday. We'll have to see. I think QC is probably going to be the first one that we get to watch. As we do every season, probably going to kind of pregame the first series stream. If I'm able to be there, if I'm not, then we don't do this. We'll do awards then. If not, we'll do them at another point later in the week. We have a 57% voter turnout so far, which is pretty good. That might be one of the highest ones we've ever gotten. So if you're watching this and you haven't done it or someone on your team hasn't done it, make sure you get on that because the more people we have voting, the better results we're going to get.
I've not voted yet, so it'll be
Oh,
58% soon.
insane. I was wondering, I was like, who are the two slackers on my team who haven't done this yet? I was going to blame Carrot.
No, it's
But
definitely me. I had to think about it. It's a hard decision.
yeah,
I still don't know really exactly where my votes are going to go. It's really close this time.
yeah. But also we have Metabusters and Rift Sharks waiting in the bottom. In case you don't know how the bracket format works, the team with the lower seed is guaranteed to have the harder matchup. So that means that Rift Sharks will not be able to face Inferno in the next round, and Metabusters will not be able to face BB in the next round. Because if either of those teams drop down, the way the seeding works out, it would prevent those matchups from happening. But yeah, anything else could be on the table. Either of these matches could definitely go either way. I don't think any of them are kind of set in stone. I think the last three series or so, or really the last few series since we've done the last episode, have kind of all gone exactly the way they would have been predicted to. So I don't think there's really too much to talk about there, unless there's anything that you want to call out.
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw a lot of close series. I don't really know what happened in the SKT Alberts one because I was playing and just haven't looked even. So, but in all the other ones, thought they were close. Like you said, a lot of 2-1s, some entertaining series. Not really any thoughts. Thank God that Nutbusters beat One Thief, I guess,
Yep.
because
Yeah.
I'm in the playoffs. So hell yeah. But
It's okay. Rift Sharks
you
have
know.
executed the 4 losses into qualifying for playoffs run. Not sure if that one's ever been done before, but we made it look great, I'm sure. But I don't
Goat,
know.
goat, goat things. Who knows?
Yeah, I guess. But no, I feel like NYB had a good run against us in 1T, but then they ended up losing to BB in 2 games. I'm sure we're going to have some takes about that once we kick it over to Baked or Based. But yeah, I don't think there's too much to talk about. I mean, we could take a look at some of the champions and stuff and
I'd be happy to
the
look at the meta a little
awards,
bit. I
but
think, as we've wrapped the regular season,
yeah.
heading to playoffs, that's kind of an interesting discussion.
Yep. So we'll do only team format, and we'll do the most played champions, which is Orin at the top, who's 10 and 11. I actually don't. If not all the games are logged yet, I don't want to do this, and they're not. So let's do this next episode once SKT Inferno's in here because that's going to change these stats. So we'll do another episode later in the week where we'll cover all that stuff. I believe post games for 2 and 3 weren't sent yesterday, so they weren't able to be logged, if I remember correctly. But I don't know. That also does make calculating some of the stats for players and stuff a little hard as well. But I think most people are just going off vibes on that anyway. I feel like the days of there only being like 5 teams, so 5 options, and then you can really look at stats because they'll be super spread out, is kind of gone. So I think we can just hit baked or based. I feel like that's why everyone's here anyway. So unless you have anything
fun.
else you
Let's do
need to
it.
touch on. Okay.
I mean, no, I just I'm excited to see where the awards ultimately lie. As I already said, I think it's really close. I think there's been a lot of really great performers in every role. I think you could make an argument for at least 3 or 4 people to be, first or second easily. So a lot of great people, a lot of great performances this season. It's been super close. Yeah, I don't know. Still don't know where I'm voting. I'll have to. I'm a little stats Andy. I like looking at the stats, so I'll check that
So
out
wait
later
until the
and
games get logged then,
get some
which
I
should be tonight.
mean, I don't. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I totally agree with you there. I feel like there's probably at least one person who's going to get snubbed in every category. So, I don't know. And in my mind, I feel like there's at least one player from every team that should end up getting an All Scrims award. So we'll see if it ends up panning out that way. That would be cool. It's always really fun when that happens. I feel like despite the overall records of some of the teams at the end of the season, I think we had 8 pretty competitive teams. There was no team that looked like they just got completely rolled every series.
Yeah, I feel like it's
So
usually one team has a pretty large chunk of the I guess the positioning on that. Whereas I think what you just said about really there's somebody on every team that feels like they could maybe get represented. Like that's kind of unique here, and partly why it's felt like such a close season.
yep, definitely agree. I feel like every team has very different strengths and weaknesses instead of there being like a couple archetypes of teams that are super common. But anyway, I'm sure we'll have some takes on the awards, so we might as well hop into it. Okay, the first one we have is a fucking paragraph, so I'm gonna try to make this one a little more concise.
Stop with the paragraphs, dude. They never stop.
True. Well, everything else is actually short, so that's good. Think I can condense this one. So I will break this into 3 takes because there's three main things here. Okay. Casters do not prep for games enough, I think, is the best way to summarize this one. I think we use Arial for this. I thought my font saved. It did not, so I think my font size saved. Sorry, that was just for optics. I don't even remember what side it was. Okay. Do you have any thoughts
Yes,
on this? I have
mean,
some here for sure.
well, casters is too general. I think it varies based on who we're talking about. And then I also just think, yes, it's true, but in large part because oftentimes people are kind of just, stepping up at the last minute because, we have a great group of people that want to make games get casted. And, if you decide you're going to do it 5 minutes before it starts, you don't really have time to prep. So
That's
I
fair.
think that's part of it.
So maybe we put that one in baked, I feel like.
I mean, that's just a Kim Fogg lame take,
Okay.
in my opinion.
I can fuck with that. Okay. The next one is casters should not be reading Twitch chat. Maybe as much as they are. But I will just
Well,
condense that to casters should not be reading Twitch chat. This one, I may overrule you if you don't agree with me on this one because I have very strong opinions.
okay, let me
here,
go
but-
first then. Let me go
Yeah.
first. I'm going to say this is a baked take because I actually think oftentimes the chat can be really insightful. Like there could actually there's a lot of great players in this server who are often watching and will give interesting takes. At least I know that oftentimes I love when somebody chimes in on some matchup or build stuff that I don't know. Now, what I will say, and I'll just call them out, as much as it's funny, Mason reading every single take verbatim does kill me a little bit. That's based, if that's what we're talking about specifically.
I
Because
would
he
have
reads
to,
it
would
word for
have to
word, every
assume.
single line, as if I
Okay.
can't read chat. But
Yeah. Okay. My take on this is I think it's very clear. I think there are ways to interact with Twitch chat where you can incorporate what people are saying in a way that is not reading any chat messages on stream. And this is what Mason used to do. Mason, if someone had a take on draft or during the game, Mason would just incorporate it. Like if someone goes, "This is a great Kaisa angle," Mason could go, "There could be a look for Kaisa here," and say the reasons that they give in Twitch chat. Don't go, "This is a good Kaisa angle. I think we're going to see Kaisa because of the range." Like, just come on. And every message too. I don't know. I think there are great ways to interact with Twitch chat. If they're calling out things, I think you can take what they say and incorporate it in the stream. But everyone who
I mean,
casts across the board has their own insights and opinions that I want to hear. I don't want to hear just
I don't
parroting
know.
other
Like,
people's stuff. But
to be fair to Mason, he's making sure that any blind people that are watching the stream don't miss any chat messages, which is really considerate of him. So I can
that's
respect
true.
that.
We're adding accessibility. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely don't do it verbatim. I think interacting with Twitch chat is fine. Like I don't know. I feel like the balance that Stav and Fudra had on their cast last night, where it's like they kind of give their takes, and in the dead time, they're like, "Are there any other opinions that we should consider?" And then once people give their input, then they go it and kind of asking for people's input, and maybe you're like running polls and stuff is fine, but definitely do
Oh,
not need to
hold
read
on.
verbatim stuff that is not
I,
even
w-
related to the game in the
I
slightest.
must say, I thought that PB's cast last night was an excellent cast, and that was the most wild chat I had ever seen. I've never seen so many random ways of saying the word Cho'Gath or just typing W or L constantly, but that was really funny. So that was an excellent use of Twitch chat.
Yeah, I
WPB.
I have not gotten to go back and watch that one. I literally just downloaded the bot and ripped it up and uploaded it, so I'm hoping that doesn't spell my doom. But I'll make sure to check that out. It's fun that the chat was engaged there. Okay, and then the last take in this kind of paragraph about casting is Dean, Jacob, Gruer are the best casters. And completely unbiased, I'm going to say that's based as fuck. Because Jacob's my goat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm biased. What am I supposed to say?
That's
But I
true.
think this is leaving out multiple people who are also amazing. And frankly, I appreciate everyone for casting because like I don't think we had but like one series get delayed cast this entire season, and in previous seasons we've had like almost every series
Yeah.
get delayed cast, or like last season I don't think Rift Sharks had like but one series live casted.
I think we had two.
So
I think we had two. Because
anyone
I
that
said one at
casts,
the end, and people got mad at me because they're like, "No, there were two."
well,
I'm like
I don't
two out
know.
of seven. Like,
Anyone that casts is a goat to me.
yes.
So I appreciate everybody, but yeah, I think there are definitely some tiers there.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's okay. If
But
we
it's
didn't,
hard. I mean,
if we
I've been
literally
doing it
didn't
for a
get the
long time.
empirical data on this one the other season, I would not agree with it. But Scrim Zone spoke, and they said me and Gruer are the best duo. So, you know,
Oh,
let
facts.
that one be known. Okay. Uh. Okay. Oh, I was scrolling through this the wrong way. I forgot there's a better way to do it. Hold on. I need to figure out where that take was. And then
Mason and chat best duo. I agree.
that's really funny. Okay, there we go. That was actually take number 30. So I did this all out of order. I think we still have one holdover from the last time we did this, or people just randomly submitted it. I'm gonna do it because it's glazing me. But and I think this actually kind of speaks on some things that Evan's been saying in our team group chat. But Season 4 Dean ADC had a higher peak relative to any other ADCs in the same season than any ADC since then. And I think this is relevant because I think what this is saying is that ADC has been really competitive in every season since then, which I think is super true. I
All
honestly
right,
can't think
so
of the last time that like an ADC, like bot lane duos as a whole, yes, I think there's been disparity, but in the era of like consistent teams, I don't think we've seen like one ADC just completely head and shoulders above every other one, unless
I don't
there's
know,
one that you can
bro.
remember.
I mean, this was BG before Gruer. I have no idea what the server was like then, so I
Oh, no, no.
can't
I'm
answer this
saying like
one.
have like in the seasons that you've been here, has there been like an ADC that just like absolutely mugs everybody else?
It's been a while, so I'm struggling to completely remember, but I do think the first season I was here with Spectre Cerberus was just above everyone else. To what extent, I don't recall,
Yeah.
but that'd be
No,
the one
no,
thing, I
that's
think.
fair. And considering Sarv dunked on me, I'm gonna call this one bait, but I appreciate the attempt to glaze me. um, Next one's also glazing me, so we'll skip over that one and we'll hit it
What you
after
put in here, Gene?
people rip into me. I have not ever submitted another a take here, and if I would make it more subtle than this. Holy shit! Like, okay, next one. PB isn't carried by Gruer, nor did Gruer carry PB. We learn now that they're both carried by carrot, all caps, hashtag carrot sweep.
Based.
It's funny. I hope it's true.
I mean, I don't know about the second part, but the first part I think is true. I don't think either myself or PB are carrying the other.
Yeah. It could also be that PB and Gruer need each other and neither of you are going to win this season, but we'll see.
I already know I don't have to have PB,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
I wouldn't hate the guy. I wish he was here. WPBs.
True. QC would be number one if they played their main roster against BB, and out of the top teams, they only played their main roster against New York Nutbusters, is the added context there. I think this one is kind of based. I'm not gonna lie. Because all they need is to win one additional series here. So I guess the argument is like, should they have gotten that against a different team? Maybe,
Did they
but
lose
they only
to? They lost to
one thief and
BB and who
BB,
else?
one T.
Oh, well, I think it's undisputed fact they would have beat 1T if they ran their main roster. I guess we could sit here and argue about BB, but
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I think it's hard to say that the team that's main roster hasn't really lost wouldn't be number one if they played. I don't know.
okay, okay.
Based, I guess. This is a
Kind of milk toast,
I
but
don't know. Sky is blue take. I mean, what
Yeah.
are we saying here? We'll
Okay.
see it in the playoffs, so the answer will arrive.
Psycho Carrot should play mid and Gruer should play jungle in their next series.
Uh,
I would say that one's
insanely baked unless we can guarantee Echo Jungle.
right. Okay, I was
Otherwise,
literally about to
completely
say the
baked.
same thing. If we get Echo Jungle, I'm so down to run this shit, but there's no way people are giving that to us. So
Let's go baked here.
yeah.
Although I've never seen Carrot mid, so I actually have no idea.
There's
Maybe
an
I am
angle
just
for us to
blocking
run
him
that.
out.
I think last season, if Gruer was ever benched, I don't think we ever practiced it. But okay, this one's a banger. This one's a banger. If PoE didn't exist, 1T doesn't finish seventh.
If,
Path of Exile, which allegedly
I
they've been spending
mean,
all their time playing. So I think that the counter argument to this, right, is that they lost to us before PoE had like completely rotted them.
they also like. I don't want to dunk on myself right now, but I don't know. I have no idea. At a certain point, show up and play the games. You signed up for the season. What we play PoE for? If that's what you
True.
want to do instead of practicing, you lose.
If
I
there's
don't
no
know.
PoE, there's a different game, right? Is that the
Yeah,
yeah?
if you don't want to play League, don't play League.
That's facts. All right. If SKT ran their recent roster the entire season, they would have easily qualified for playoffs. Okay, so this one I feel like I want to do some research here to fact check it. Because
What do they mean? Their most recent, like if they played Sam the entire time?
I mean, I would have to assume that's what they meant, right? But hold on, let me pull up the stats. So
I'm gonna be real. If they couldn't win one series against any team, how are we gonna sit here and say they would have pulled off
all they had
two
to do
or
is
three?
win two. And one of them could have been against 1T or us, right? So
I guess.
hold on. Who would have played all the games for their team? Oh, I'm all time.
Apari played all the games.
Apari played every game.
I think so.
Okay, and their most recent one isn't logged, so let's load games here and kick it to the back. So the first series against us, they didn't run that roster. And I'm pretty sure they ran the quote unquote good roster in every series except they had Zaber in versus Bappo, but Zaber absolutely dunked on Bappo that series, so I'm gonna discount that one a little bit. Zaber did get his ass owned by Korn. So if your argument here, I feel like really distills down to Faye would have beaten Korn and Zaber can't.
That's cap.
Right. I mean, it's Korn.
It's corn. Like yeah.
I mean,
L take. Terrible take.
I feel like my like counter take to this is like maybe if they ran Zaber every time, they'd do a little better. But I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I love everybody on that roster, so I don't mean this to be like toxic at all, but like you got to win one series in 2 seasons before I'm gonna sit here and say you're gonna win two or three to hit playoffs. You know,
Yeah. I don't know.
we're still
I
scaling
think
there.
maybe there's some validity to this take if they hadn't run Sam versus us and 1T, but there was only one series where they didn't run it against us. And okay, like devil's advocate, they run Sam S versus us, they beat us, then we're both 1-6, and neither of us make playoffs. So
Hey, yeah, but I don't make me expand on this, Dean. Just move along. This is a bad take.
Future's champ pool is more like a champion puddle. I don't.
Wait, Future champ pulls me like that. What? I actually think this is like a major L take.
Right. I feel
Well,
like this
I don't
is
know.
just like
Can we
cooked.
stat check it?
I think so. Okay. So
I feel like Future.
not
I
like
feel
a
like Future's main attribute is the fact that he has such a wide champ pool. But this may just be my narrative. I don't
maybe they're
know.
saying like the champions he plays are like crap. Like maybe that's the read here. Okay. So Future's played 8 unique champions this season in just team format. If you include signups too, it's 32 unique champions. If you include all time, Future has played 85 unique champions.
This is a
Like
disgustingly bad take. I didn't think we could get a worse one than the last one, and we already did. So completely baked take.
tragic. Okay, I was sharing the wrong thing for a bit, but okay. Whoever knows this does not know ball. Sorry, should have submitted a better take. Okay, people in Scrim Zone need to stop being allergic to buying anti-heal. Is this a recurring problem, or is it just like the one game?
When did it happen? I don't even know what we're talking about.
I feel like this was the like in Metabusters versus 1T or in NYMB versus 1T, there was like no one bought anti-heal. But like I don't think this is like a recurring problem. Unless I'm like completely forgetting everything.
If this is like I mean, this reads as like a generalist take, as if this
Yeah.
is like some problem that's like prevailing in the server over a lot of games. I don't think so.
Yeah, I
Pre-bake.
think baked. Maybe there's some spots where it's just like hard to itemize or something. Unsure. This is fucking fire. Hex Flash First Strike Vein Jungle should have worked, by the way.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna say it should have worked. I'm gonna say it could have worked.
I'm surprised it didn't work. Am I allowed to
It
say
probably
that?
it probably should not have worked, but that's not to say it could not have worked.
Yeah. Are we allowed to give it based because it's funny?
I think we can give this one based though. I mean,
Nice.
if you, I don't know, like if you showed me the draft at the start of the games and told me he was running First Strike Hex Flash, I'd have still predicted them to win. So I guess that does mean should have won.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't disagree with that one. Okay. If Chris top and Dean went support, they beat BB. I mean, I think Chris had a good series. I think I had a bad series. I think if I have a bad series on support, I think we still lose. Like, I'm gonna be real, I just did not show up to the game yesterday. I don't think this is a role issue, but I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's more of just we could argue. I don't know what position would be the best, but at the end of the day, I think we just didn't play at a certain level that's required to win, regardless of position.
Yeah. So I think we agree on that one. I think that one's a big take. Okay, this one's just mean.
Let's see it.
Rift Sharks could use a new jungler. I don't. Is this flaming carrot? Is this flaming spiral? I don't know.
I think it goes back to the other one. It's flaming me for not playing jungle.
Oh shit. We said that was baked though. I mean, if QC is offering like Drakkar or like Hero, like I'd take it.
Fuck that.
But
I'm riding with my guys to the
right,
end.
I'd take it so they can ride the bench. Keep our other sub company.
Chemfog that shit.
Hell yeah. It'd be cool if there were like fewer takes in here about us, but that's okay. Rat and Drakkar would beat Prime Faker Owner. No, you're fucking stupid. Like, I can't even entertain this one. I'm sorry. Like,
maybe like Prime Palafox and contracts, but not.
Yeah. I mean,
Red,
if like
not,
if
not
one of them
Faker
had
and
peaked
Owner.
Challenger, like maybe I consider it, but I don't know. NT.
Yeah, NT.
Okay, if players didn't default to the quote-unquote scrims meta, a Mumu, Ornn, Syndra, Hive, Prio, then their results would be far better. I'm just gonna delete the middle. I don't think this is really true because I think the cases in which this happens, the players that are prioing those champions are best on those champions.
Yeah, like what are we saying? Like I don't know.
Like, is it like Sarver,
like, is
Tusini,
the-
and
is the
Gruer need to
meta-
just have a different best champion? Like, does Camazotz need to stop being an Ornn one trick? Like, I'm not sure what the...
I don't know, bro. Like to me here, it's like yeah, the meta of the larger game is better than the scrims meta and will beat the scrims meta, but the scrims meta develops based on the fact of what
Right.
individual players can play and succeed on.
I think this one goes to the fog.
I mean,
It has to, right?
Sure,
Like,
if we were
what?
all fucking champion oceans and could play whatever and could draft optimally every time, then yeah, I wouldn't be having to play with
Yeah.
some of those champs. But
I would
it is
put
what it
money
is.
on whoever submitted this take also submitted a take that's like Scrim Zone needs Fearless because it's the same mindset.
But also,
right?
I think this. Well, you deleted the part about the champions. I do think some of that is more true, maybe with like the Amumu, but like Ornn, no, and Syndra. Syndra is a legitimately good champion that is blind pickable. Like I don't see how we're hating on that at all. Like, let me play it, guys. I'll prove it.
True. I think actually this person's argument is that people should just leave Syndra up for you and you should not pick it. I think that...
Guys, it's a terrible champ. It's super
Yeah.
counterable. Picking
Right,
Gage.
this person on Scrim Zone Baked or Base said that you should like Gruer play Syndra because if we pick it, we lose, right? Oh, did he freeze? Am I gone? No, I'm still good. Gruer? Like activated the fucking like trap card. You insinuate Syndra's not good. He's gone. Hold on, we'll be right back. All right, I think he's been killed. Maybe I've been killed? Alright, pardon our delay here, trying to figure out what's going on with him. Presuming he didn't just die out of nowhere. Hello? Oh wait, he's
Hello,
back. He's back.
hello,
He's back. Who
hello.
who knows what happened there?
Am I here? Am I
Yes,
here?
you're back. You're back. You're back.
Guys, the internet. Who's doxing me? I know. All
Gruer
right.
disagreed with too many
Who's?
takes.
Yeah,
So
come on,
like,
guys. What are we doing here?
this is bad. Okay.
Use your speech, not your whatever else.
Okay, this is a follow up to the take that we just had. And this one, okay, interesting. Okay, this one's a fact checkable masterpiece. Okay, Chris Top are the only series Rift Sharks have won, but they benched him and then brought him back as support. What the hell is going on behind the scenes there? Whoever did this is, am I allowed to just call someone stupid? Is that allowed? Because if we look at this, and we go to Team Format, Season 10, load games, and we search for Rift Sharks win, and we scroll down to One Thief. Holy shit, dude, we won with me top. Chris wasn't even playing the game. Wow, that's so crazy, isn't it? Is it crazy that I went 7-2 against a Masters top laner? Wow. Did you realize that we lost this series with the 2 wins that we got, Gruer? Did you know that? Did you know that this person on Scrims Zone Baked Your Base says, what the hell is going on behind the scenes at Rift Sharks when they can't even read the Scrims Zone website?
I don't know. Like, yeah, I mean, L take, I guess, because you didn't get your facts right. But
right. I mean, like, do we want to see what happens when I play support and I go 4-7 on Pyke and I get flamed for locking in Pyke the entire season? People have still not let this go, by the way, and we're like wondering why I stopped playing support. Like, I don't know.
I mean,
I screwed Evan over that game. I don't know.
Hey, I mean, we all got shit on that game. I don't know what.
That's
I don't
true.
know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, if you're gonna like take shots and be like, "What the hell is this team even doing?" Just like, be right about what you say. Just like, I don't know, because if this was a correct take and like there was something in there that was accurate, I would entertain it. But there isn't.
I mean, I will say, I think, you know, just a larger point, because this does seem to be something people want to talk about. I think Chris has been legitimately good in support. Like, he played well at top, he played well in support. I think you've played well in support of series. You played well top in a series. I think our issues go beyond role. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say I've been playing pretty solidly top. I feel like 70 to 80% of my games, I feel like I look pretty good top. I think I'm, you know, have some L's. I don't think we've ever lost a game because Chris isn't a good support. I think we've had a couple games where, you know, I've played four games of support on our team. I think 2 of them have looked good. 2 of them have looked rough. I think that's, you know, 50% hit rate. And I think, you know, the 2 top laners Chris played into are Chow and Faye. So take that as you will. I don't know. I think we're very happy with Chris as our support. I don't. If you think Chris sucks at support, like, you can say that, but I don't think that's the leg that take has to stand on. But I don't know.
Can we get some takes about the good teams? What's all these Rift Shark teams?
They're like, there's a team in 6. Let's fucking dunk on these guys. Okay.
Hey, they didn't get the dunk last season. It's just coming back around.
Okay. QC's B team beats half the teams pretty easily. The real question is, which team will get second place this season?
So that's like 2 separate takes. They're saying one that QC's
I think
backup roster is.
I think the first one is just a given. I think they're assuming it to be fact. But yeah, we can split this one. I'm fine with that.
This is two separate takes.
QC's B team beats half the teams pretty easily, I'd say, is based. This is just arguing that QC running the Hero Scott Pilgrim's roster would end top half, and I agree. I think that's based. Okay.
Maybe.
Which
I don't think it's
which
like a given.
Which 5 teams are beating them, Gruer?
I mean, we suck and we beat them in a scrim. I don't know.
Well, we went 1-1.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, base. They're at least the better half.
Yeah. I think the way we were playing in that scrim too, if we played that way all season, we would have been top half too. Problem is we don't. Okay, and then The second part of the take is the real question is which team will get second place this season. Which the context here is QC is obviously getting first. I don't think that's true.
Well,
I think the real question is QC
Okay.
going to choke or not?
No, okay. To me, QC is the favorite when they are playing their primary roster. Yes, I think they're for sure the favorite, but I don't think the real question is which team gets second. I don't know. They've lost. Like, it's not like that roster has not lost a game or two. You know, like
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't
that
know.
roster basically lost a game to SKT. If they roll swap Rat Jungle and play Vayne, then maybe they would lose. But
I
I
don't
mean, I
know.
think
They're the favorite,
they've
but I don't
lost other
think there's
games too.
anybody that's just a clear winner.
Yeah.
Every single team has had really strong performances and also some poor performances. It's ultimately going to come down to who shows up on the day.
Yeah, I think like the fact that QC hasn't been running that roster so much is like kind of left a complete question mark on the consistency of that roster, and I think that's where my question lies. Is like, yes, that roster is definitely capable of beating every team in the league. Is it going to in playoffs? I don't know.
Because I mean, we've seen teams put up even more dominant regular seasons and then crash out and burn in the playoffs. It's not like it's not never happened before.
Yeah, I don't possibly know what you've been talking about there. Okay, next take. Okay, this one belongs in the chem fog, right with the other one. Jesus Christ.
Let's give it a fair shot, Dean. Let's give it a fair shot.
Yep. 16 playoffs for an 8-game season, 7-game season, or 8-team season is a joke. Wake me up when it's semifinals time and the top 4 seeds are playing again. That's this week.
All right. Well, I will say this. I
What?
guess they're saying like that you shouldn't allow the bottom. I guess they're saying like only the top 4 teams should make the playoffs. But this is a disgustingly bad take when you just last season saw Metabusters run the entire lower bracket to go to finals and be within 1 game of winning the whole season. So bad take.
Yeah, I mean, is this baked or chem fog?
Like I don't like what's the whole point of playoffs? This is baked. I mean, it's like a
Okay.
realistic take, but it's just so terrible that it's baked.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, if we want to like get down to like brass tacks, whoever put this in wants to hear their point played out. I'll treat it like that. First of all, if we're saying 16 playoffs for an, do you think this means 8-team season or 7-game season?
Oh, like they're saying, well, maybe
Well,
they're saying that
I'll approach it from
16
both
playoffs
ways.
for only
I'll
like
approach
a
it from
single
both
round
ways.
robin. Is that the critique?
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that single round robin actually, that's why we're including all 6 teams, because a single round robin is not a great determinator of which team should qualify. Like, look at the way Riot ran Worlds for years. They did a double round robin because, you know, any given Sunday effect is like a big effect, right? And if you're taking it as like 16 playoffs for an 8-team season, then kind of point it back to what I just said. It's only single round robin. It's kind of hard. The reason that we don't do a double round robin and a 4-team playoffs is we just don't have time, because we'd end up trying to schedule finals during Thanksgiving, which just doesn't work. Been there, tried that. It was awful. No one had fun. Ran off rosters in playoff series, and people got upset. So
I will just say though, like at its core, who's complaining about more playoff games?
yeah,
Like, are you not a fan of the game? Like, playoffs are the most fun thing.
yeah. I mean, okay. So actually, what happens here, and why, like the big argument for, if your argument is wake me up when the top 4 seeds are playing, what happens because of this format is top 4 seeds play first week. That's what happens. You get to see a semifinals between the top 4 teams. Then, yes, there's an off week where the middle 4 teams are playing, right? But while that's happening, the top 2 teams who just won the semifinals have an entire week to prep for a match just against each other that you then get to see.
Which
And
is
the winner
always
of
an
that
awesome
then
match.
gets
Yeah.
another entire full week to prep against whoever they're playing in grand finals. So not only do we get to see matchups between the top teams over and over again, we get to see them with a full week plus of prep time against their specific team. And the quality that we have seen out of these playoff series is immense. It is nothing like we saw before we started running this format. So
Yeah, I think the playoffs have been just great
Yeah,
consistently. So yeah.
I don't know. I think this is a funny take, but I mean, NT. Also,
NT.
you get like a power nap because the top four seeds just are playing. Every match for the rest of the season is going to contain one of the top four seeds, and if it doesn't, it contains a team that eliminated one of them. So I don't know, man. Good try. Okay, a take on the seventh place team. Holy
Okay.
shit! Please free Dave from One Thief. Put him in literally any other team, and he's probably the MVP candidate. I think that's based.
I I don't know. I think this is kind of disrespectful to Bean. I think Bean has
Okay,
been
yeah,
really good the entire season, and I think Dave has looked great in large part because of how great Bean has played with him. Like, I think Bean has arguably been one of the best supports. Like, yes, Dave has been amazing. Don't get me wrong, but to act like Dave could slot in on any other role or any other team and have his equally good performance, I don't know. I mean, I think Bean has really done a lot for him. So it's a bad take in my opinion. But also, like he was free from One Thief last season and we didn't see anything crazy. I don't know.
okay,
What are we
that's
talking
fair.
about?
You've convinced me. We can put this one in baked. I don't know. I think he does deserve a good nod in the ADC voting
He's been
category.
great. Like he
Yeah.
very well, you could argue, has been one of the best 80 carries in the season. I'm not trying to say he has not been, but to argue that like his team has completely held him down, I don't know. I think his support's been really good.
Okay. Oh, okay. A positive take. Holy shit.
We love positivity.
Kage is the best player, parentheses, performing above expectations in the tournament in terms of league rank to performance ratio. So I'm going to remove the parenthetical because it is already stated, but I think this is a very interesting one that I need to think about
Yeah, so I'll
because
just preface this by saying I'm
yeah.
not as familiar with Kage before the season, so I don't really like have a baseline, or I don't actually know exactly what their rank is. I think Kage has played really, really well this season, but I don't know. I think there's other players that are definitely in that same conversation. I think Eden has been playing amazing
Mhm.
this season. Um, Eden is who I'm like. I don't think we vote on this, but Eden would be my most improved player. Like, I think Eden has been amazing this season. So if we're just looking at like rank versus performance, definitely at least in the conversation with them. But Nokage has been wonderful.
Yeah. I want to put this one in base just because like good job for putting a positive take in,
Yeah,
but
let's go. Positive
I
take.
don't
We
know. And
love
I
it.
definitely would say like a lot of teams during the beginning of the season when they were scouting, they were like, "Oh, like Kage will probably be like the punishable angle on QC," and they've proven that that's not true. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
definitely.
Definitely props to Kage there.
WKage.
Yeah, and I mean I think that exact same line could be used. Just swap QC for BB and Eden for Kage. I think a lot of people thought that they would be more punishable than they were also, but yeah. Okay, since we're on positive take, I'll go back to the other one that I skipped. So it's just Dean's the hottest person ever. I'm gonna. You can decide that one. I'm not
Uh,
evaluating this one.
we'll go. We'll just go based. We love positivity.
Thank you, Gruer. It means a lot.
Based.
Okay, now back to League of Legends. Nami is just a hook support with a really shitty hook. I
I
think it's
mean,
based because she
the
doesn't
fog of
build.
war, like terrible take.
Yeah,
What?
I don't know. I see what they're going for, where it's like if you hit the like bubble, then you get to like punish. But I think she's not really tanky, and like I guess you don't need to be tanky to be a hook support because there's Pike, but Pike is like Pike's Pike.
Nami's an enchanter, like through and through. At the end of the day,
Okay, Chemfog.
I
Goodbye.
don't know. I don't
Is
know.
it
I
is this
don't.
a
I don't
carrot
see
take?
it. I don't know. Jacob's in chat saying it's based, and he's the Nami like connoisseur. So I can be wrong, but I don't see it.
Do we put it in based because we like Jacob, and he's saying is based?
Well, he's
Can he?
saying if funny takes are based,
Mm,
it's
I don't,
it's
I don't
Kim
think that's
Fog.
always true.
It's Kim Fog.
Okay. BB is fraudulent. Only top 5 win into starting roster was against Newark Nutbusters.
That true?
Uh, yeah. They
Man,
didn't
that's not
play.
true.
They didn't
They
play
beat New York
into.
Nut. Oh, that you did just say the
Right, that was the
Nutbusters,
only
didn't you?
one. So
Oh.
it's so Metabusters. They
Who did
played.
Metabusters not have?
They were like mid swap that series, and Metabusters beat them. So there's
Yeah,
that too.
Metabusters did beat them.
QC was not the starting roster, and that leaves Inferno, who definitely was not running the roster that they're running now. So that's a true assumption. Given that, do you think BB's has a fraudulent first?
No, I don't think BB's fraudulent at all. I think that's a big take to call BB fraudulent. I don't think any team ends up first over the course of a full season and is fraudulent. If you want to argue that, they're not the best team, we can entertain that, but like they're not fraudulent. Like they've
Yeah.
earned that spot. You show up, you play who you're playing against. They've put out great performances. They're first because they've won the most. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Also, this doesn't even just say that like BB's first is fraudulent. It just says that they're like overall a fraud, which I don't think is true. If you want to say like
Yeah, I
BB,
mean,
if you want to say BB will choke in playoffs and then you give that explanation, that's a much more evaluatable take. But that's not what was said. So
they've earned it fair and square. If people want to, I don't know.
now, if we had beaten
Run your
them
roster, I
yesterday,
don't know.
then we could have a different discussion. But we didn't. So
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. SKT would have won at least 2 series if they drafted better.
Uh,
I I'm more willing to believe this one than the roster one.
yeah, honestly, based, I think
Yeah.
SKT for 2 seasons in a row has just had terrible drafts. Like,
Yeah,
not
I
all
think
the time, but like it consistently
yeah.
does show up. Like, and like it's not even just like they pick a bad champion in a spot. Like, I don't know. Everybody remembers, they should have locked Malphite, or they shouldn't have locked Malphite. It's like there's one game where everybody's like, you needed Malphite, and then there's one game where it's like you blinded Malphite, and then they got silenced. That stuff aside, there's games where they just like ban champions for players that aren't on the other side.
Yeah,
There's
that's
wasted
happened
bans.
probably 5 or 6 times.
Like, yeah, like
And
that's
it's
just
not like
crazy.
teams
Like,
aren't communicating their rosters. It's just like I guess they sit there for 10 minutes and then don't come up with another ban. I don't know. There's a lot of talent on that roster. I don't know. I think in a
I do
season
think
this
they could have
competitive,
won 2 series,
yeah,
if
I
they
would
drafted
believe
better.
that.
I agree. I agree with that. They have been so close to winning series multiple times, and they've been in winning positions in games that they have lost multiple times. So, yeah, I don't think it's unrealistic to say they could have won 2 series if they drafted better.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's tons of talent on that roster, and I think in a series this competitive or a season this competitive, you can easily just lose games based off of draft, and I don't think anyone's going to
Yeah.
debate that that's happened to them multiple times. I mean, some people might debate if they would have won them if the draft was better, but I don't think the other 2 points are debatable. Okay, this one I don't actually understand what it's going for. There's 2 possible ways. Okay, I pasted the wrong thing. Okay, so the take is Draco is never getting MVP top lane, and there's like 3 ways I can interpret this. So the first one is Draco should role swap, which I think is fair. There's Draco should be getting game MVPs while playing top lane, but isn't because it's top lane. And then the other one is like for season MVP while playing top lane, which kind of goes back to the first one where it's like Draco should role swap.
I
So I feel like
I
I'm
don't
more
know.
inclined to say like Draco should role swap, but I feel like Draco already knows that. Like I think Draco is requesting to role swap, so I feel like that's kind of like a nothing take. So like
Yeah, I don't
maybe
know.
like
It's kind of a lame
game-
take. Like I
so
Draco's
maybe it should be
playing an
like
off
Draco's
role,
never getting
and
MVPs because she's top lane.
like I think Draco has had good performances where
Yeah.
she's been really playing well and contributed to their wins, and has definitely been a contributor to the reason that they've been able to turn their season around. but I do think that, she is playing, off role. I believe it's not even like her secondary role. It's like her third or fourth best
Yeah,
role I've heard her say. So,
yeah,
yeah, I don't think it's hard to say she's not getting MVPs because also in that turnaround has been, Kai or Omar playing amazing in mid and getting MVPs, or,
yeah,
their AD carry playing amazing and getting MVPs. So, yeah, I mean,
yeah.
she's doing well and doing what's needed for them to win. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just putting a question mark there because I think it's hard to interpret what the take is here. Holy banger. Holy shit. SKT will finish top 3 in standings next season.
Wait, which were we talking about, the SKT in our server, or is Faker and them
Yes.
showing up?
I mean, they could dump the whole roster and pick a whole new roster. Like, literally anything could happen the offseason. I feel like this is based for having hope in them, but like, there's no, like, categorize, like, there's
Yeah, I
no
mean,
explanation of how this would happen.
yeah, I don't know who they're playing against. I don't know who's on the team.
I don't know. Like, is
Pure
Honan gonna get
hopium angle.
visited by like the fucking ghost of Scrim Zone Future and like see his team like like 0-28 and like start doing something different? Like his
No, they are still scaling. I'll give them that.
yeah.
They're still scaling. But I will just say, for the sake of it, let's assume they run back a similar-ish roster, and so does everyone else. It's a big take. It's not happening. Sorry. Let's dream about making playoffs first.
Jesus. Okay. I guess I can't argue against that. How are we looking on time? We have 9 minutes left. I'm like trying to figure out if I need to reset the big side, but I think we should be fine. I'm just gonna keep shoving stuff over there. Have better
Keep it
takes, and then
going.
we'll have a
Keep it
more.
going.
Season 11 needs to be fearless. End of discussion. All the one tricks are being banned away. So I'm gonna, before we discuss this, I want to make it clear that the reason that we're not automatically fearless is not because of one tricks. The reason that we aren't fearless is that we aren't professional League of Legends players, and there are plenty of people who have a champion pool that is smaller than 3 champions that they're comfortable in. And I think if we swap to fearless, then people are going to need to play the video game more. And a lot of us are in school and have a job, or one or the other. Whereas the league that has swapped to fearless professionally, they all they do is play League of Legends, and it's very easy for them to have such a large champion pool. So I'm gonna delete the all the one tricks are being banned away because that's not relevant. If it was fearless, that would like that it just doesn't change anything. I agree with that part of it, that one trick should not be the reason that we don't swap to fearless. However, it wasn't the reason that we weren't swapping to fearless in the beginning. That said, what's your take here?
Um, I'm kind of conflicted on the topic. Personally, I think there is a lot of fun stuff that comes along with Fearless. Um, Personally, I think that I wouldn't hate it. I mean, I play a lot of champions. Like, that's just kind of the reality. But I think it's fair to recognize that there's a lot of people that, as you said, for whatever reason, you know, it wouldn't be as much fun. But I also think beyond that, in the same way that Fearless, does create a lot of new opportunities, you're getting to see like new champions, people have to play different stuff. At the same time, like I think there's something that's kind of lost through Fearless as well, which is like, recognizing a really strong champion and seeing like how teams adapt around it throughout a series. Like a champion gets picked in game one and performs really well. How does the team respond? Do they then, take it themselves, or do they come up with some secondary strategy to now kind of counter it and beat it? So I don't know. I think there's pros and cons to both formats.
Yeah. Okay,
If you
so
want like my take of should we be fearless, I honestly don't know right now.
yeah. So I'll drop my whole fearless take on here because I don't think I've actually said this anywhere. But would I personally, just me, thinking to myself, would I enjoy playing 10 series of fearless more than 10 series of normal? Yes, absolutely. I have a huge champion pool. It's my favorite part of my game is that I get to play different champions all the time, and getting kind of forced to do that would be awesome. I would love that personally. As for is it better for the server? I think it wouldn't be, because I think I don't know. I guess most recent occurrence of this, right? Like look at either Camazotz or Alana. We'll say Alana because they've played a series more recently, but everyone has been saying Alana has Aurora and Malzahar, and there's like a couple other champions that are in there. So if a team decides to permaban Aurora or Malzahar, which we've seen both do, then Alana has one game of the series where Alana gets to have fun. And then after that, Alana doesn't get to play a champion they're comfortable on anymore, which is shitty. Alana works a lot of hours. That's why it's been tough to schedule series against NYMB. I don't think Alana should be excluded from having fun in the server because they're busy. Also, looking at Lithy and the SKT Inferno game, not only did Lithy get hard banned out the entire series, Lithy's picks were stolen away from her. That makes that happen twice as fast. Lithy has like a 5 or 6 champion pool that Lithy's comfortable on. Lithy, in the way that series would have been played, also would have been out of champions by the end of the series. And that doesn't really add up to people having fun. And if you look at how we've been handling signups, where it's everyone needs to agree to it, a lot of the times 1 or 2 people aren't agreeing to it. And I think it would be a lot more if there wasn't the pressure of, oh, everyone else really wants to do this. So just going to put that out there. I think, yes, for people who play a lot of League of Legends and have huge champion pools, it would be really fun for you. That doesn't mean it's going to be really fun for everyone else. And kind of going over to what you said and like the elements of drafting against a champion, adapting over time, I think there's a lot of merit to that too. I think some of the best moments that we've seen in Scrim Zone and across pro League of Legends in history has been because of having to adapt to a like, because everyone calls it like the series meta, right? And that's because these power picks show up and you have to adapt your draft to the things that come out during the series to be really strong. And Fearless, if you realize, oh shit, this champion is a really good pocket pick for them, you never have to worry about it again. It gets them 1 game at most. So any practice towards that pick, towards this pocket pick, is now immediately done after you get the 1 game win with it. The best example of this in my head, this is like an ancient pull. I love this series. It makes me so happy to talk about it. But it's the one that RNG played all the way back at MSI, I believe. I feel like all my facts are like fading from me. But it was when Cryan was their mid laner, and everyone realized that Cryan can only play roaming champions, right? He can only play Galio, he can only play Malzahar, and I think maybe it was like Twisted Fate at the time, right? And so they realized that all they have to do is just ban every single roaming mid laner. So they ban every single roaming mid laner, and this guy pulls out Annie. It's like the coolest shit ever. No one's played Annie in pro play in like 7 years. Next game of the series, Annie's banned. And now the other team, I believe it was EDG, now has to pick away one of the roaming supports or one of the roaming mids, which they didn't have to do before. It's this whole freaking nightmare of stuff, and their draft for the series is fucked because they didn't realize that they had this Annie pocket pick that hadn't been accounted for. If stuff like that doesn't happen, we don't get these like crazy like Giga Brain draft moments. I don't even know if RNG ended up winning the series. I feel like they probably did, but I don't know. Stuff like that's super cool, and I feel like, to your point, you completely lose that if you do Fearless. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
cool stuff comes out, but I do think we have enough champion diversity in Scrim Zone anyway, which is the entire reason that pro players are implementing it. We have no issues with champion diversity, so we don't have the factor that necessitates it. So in order for us to swap over to Fearless, there would have to be like a big enough draw to swap over to Fearless. But I mean, we've already said publicly that we're doing a vote among either players or captains or both. We're going to still figure that out, but there is going to be a decision made after this season is done if we're doing it. But I don't think there really is an end to this discussion. Even if season 11's Fearless, that doesn't mean that season 12 is going to be if it goes poorly. So
you just kind of convinced me, Dean. I mean, to me, I feel like it kind of shouldn't be. Like, to your point, I think 2 things. One, there already is champion diversity in this server, which is the whole problem in Pro. In Pro, they were running the same thing every single game because they're paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. It matters if you win. It's your livelihood. If there are 2 champions that are obviously the best, they're only going to play those because they all are good and they all play on a similar level.
Corky Azir. We
saw freaking Ivern top and Kaisa top and Quinn mid, and like there's been no shortage of fun picks in this server. I think it's fine. And then also back to the drafting. Yeah, like, so let's just say, I'll just use myself as an example. Like, Echo and Syndra get banned a ton. if with like the current drafting system, if someone else is able to step up or I'm able to step up and perform on like another champion at a really high level, you then have to consider, banning that, and it brings out another champion for someone. Like if Drakkar smurfs on Kane or Wukong or something, well then, whoa, maybe he gets to play Zed the next game. Like that's completely lost if you have Fearless because you're just going to ban the same three champions every single game regardless.
And they have to come up with a unique pick that will outperform every single game, which is definitely different. I will say that like I do see the benefits of doing Fearless. Like, yes, you have to consider, is it wise to just give them this champion one game so we don't have to worry about banning it the rest of the series? There's way more trade-offs to be had. It's not like, I think the drafting is just as complex, but I think
different way, definitely.
right.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's fair to say that it's like easier or harder or more or less complicated to draft in one versus the other.
Well, I think regardless of if you think it should be Fearless or not, it's baked because it's definitely not just end of discussion.
Right.
There's definitely
absolutely
a discussion
not
to be
there.
had.
Yeah, I mean, we had between two people
had a
who are
long
on the same
discussion.
team and have discussed this before. We just had a 8-minute sidebar. So
It's a fun topic though.
yeah, no. So we're over an hour. So I'm gonna end on this positive take. Alex and PB has been the best bot duo that the server has seen since season 5. Is going to be my read. I don't think they've been the best duo that entire time because they haven't played on the same team the whole time. But has there been a bot lane duo that has peaked higher than Alex PB?
That's the take. Performance wise, has there been a higher peak?
I
think the Sarver's Mythic was a higher peak.
Was Alex PB playing that season? They were.
Yeah, I think they played against it. We played against their team.
Yeah, because that would have been season 6. Hold on, it's fact check time again.
I don't know. I think they're an amazing duo and one of the best duos of all time in the server, especially when you factor in longevity and performance. But I don't think they've no, I don't think they're considerably better, and I think there's other arguments you could make.
I forgot.
Frankly,
this happened.
I think Evan PB of last season is arguably better than Alex and PB.
Oh, that's a spicy
one. PB with anyone is good. Like I don't. PB makes any AD carry look good. I'll say it right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the head-to-head because I think they dodged you in playoffs, which ended up mattering a lot. Oh, I'm looking at only my games, aren't I? Hold on.
We played against them, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, I had a filter set. Okay, Alex playoffs. They played MVP in playoffs and us in playoffs. They didn't play you in playoffs, which I think matters. This series is funny, by the way, because I have the freaking 1,000 KDA on Mordekaiser. But the last time they played you, they got a little fathered in both games. So
that's what I'm saying. I'm not even gonna question it. Evan PB clears Alex and PB if you ran the 2v2. That's my take.
Yeah. Hey, this Taxi Dean bot lane, kinda hype. Oh my god, and then I played Michael into them and Michael dropped a 17 bomb into Alex PB. I used to have so much bot lane aura, that shit is gone. I don't know. I mean, I think me and Eric is a solid call out. We did not have the same team around us that we had on KGS, but in that era, I think we were pretty strong too. But then you look at that, and then you look at Spectres, and they just obliterated us. So I don't know. Sarver's just had its comeback after the tornado gap. I feel like that was
I think Sarver's 80 carry that season is just disgustingly good. I don't know.
That is one of the highest peaks we've seen in Scrim Zone ever. I feel like. Okay.
I don't know why he decided to switch to mid lane.
Yeah. Next take is super negative, so I'm gonna just cut it off there.
No, I could go all night, Dean. You're killing me.
Well, I mean, we have to do another pod once all the numbers are in, so we can look at meta and stuff going into playoffs.
That's fair.
Alec is just catching strays. The Andro season 6 didn't make playoffs. Shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, Andro season 6 did not make playoffs. They had a pretty rough season, if I recall.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Damn. Them and NYMB didn't make playoffs. Oh, forgot. That was the season where Mythic accidentally threatened me with a gun. I forgot about that whole thing.
I'd forgotten about that too.
He just like made like a general comment to me in DMs. He's like, next team that plays against us is getting this. And I'm like, that's me. And he's like, oh shit. I was laughing so
Base
hard.
W Mythic. Mythic really showed up,
I miss him
smashed
so
an entire
much.
season, and then never played again.
Yeah, if you look at like the win rates, like overall all-time win rates, Mythic is like clearing everybody just because of like the show up
W
refusal
Mythic, truly.
Yeah, I don't know. Definitely one of the players I miss most in Scrim Zone, but I think we are gonna cut the stream here. There will be more State of Scrims this week, at least when awards is done. But we'll probably have some kind of follow up after that. But that will probably be on a Gruer day, so excited for that. But thanks to everyone who watched. I might
Chat.
post this screenshot a little bit later. I'm definitely gonna need to scroll up through chat. Looks like there's a lot of discussion going through this, but yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Let us know if you like the 7 p.m. time in season discussion. I'm not opposed to doing this more often so I can sleep.
Hey, it's kind of fun getting interaction. It's usually the midnight scrims have like 2 people watching live.
I don't know. I do like doing them at night though, and then someone like wakes up the next morning and just like fires off some heaters in season discussion because it stirs up more content for sure. Whereas if people are typing on Twitch chat, it's only with the other people on Twitch chat. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks, Gruer, for co-hosting. I pointed the right direction this time, I think.
Thank you
But
for having me.
oh wait, no, he's above me now. Oops. All right, see y'all.